I'm very happy to speak here as one of the finalists of the Marketing Tech Summit. And I brought with me someone even more fascinating than actually Tech Time Summit, which is Romina. Romina from Generali Austria, Romina Knaus, will accompany me here and talk a little bit about the Generali story and actually what we went through together and kind of also how which learnings were driving into the story. And Generali also is a very, very interesting customer, and she will talk a little bit more about it, but a fascinating setup, and especially her team is really pushing the boundaries on many ends here. So I'm very happy to talk about this case. And yes, so please, Romina, your stage. And yeah, very happy to have you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marco. Hello again. I'm very excited, and it's my pleasure to be with you all in the webinar today. I'm looking forward to show you on the next few slides how we do performance marketing at Generali and how we found out that Nexoya is a great partner to work with on data-driven optimization. But first, I would like to introduce my company to you so that you get a better picture on who we are and what we are doing. We are the first largest insurance in Austria. We had a revenue in 2023 about 3 billion euros. We have a variety of sales channels in our people-to-people business, and we have a variety of business models running. For all of our products in the portfolio, we have an offline contact converting into an offline sale. Then we have the online contact converting into an offline sale, which is actually the main of my performance marketing business, and we will look at in a few seconds. And then we have, for very selective products, also the offer of direct online sales. We are about 4,600 employees, and we have a customer base of 1.7 million Generali clients. So if we focus now on the online leads, the online contacts we want to generate year by year, and we have really high goals on, then we need to check which challenges we were facing in the last couple of years. And to give you an idea on how or which challenges we were facing in our digital performance marketing campaigns at Generali, I just named a few, but the ones which were the biggest challenge in the last time. So first of all, it's the overall and total online lead acquisition. By a decreasing media budget in 2024, we still had a very high lead goal to reach. We have an isolated views on KPIs since we have multiple agencies in place and a complex of channel handling. We have two agencies, for example, so we have one specialized on social media and one specialized on paid search and display, which are working with 5 different operating systems for campaign management, campaign monitoring, and campaign optimization, as well as reporting. One of the bigger and biggest challenges we were facing the last couple of years is the attribution modeling difficulties we were facing in our systems. So to name it, the walled gardens. If we have a look on a few details I could bring with me for today, if we look under the media leads, which are actually running into the media platform itself, so for example into Meta or into Google as R360, then we would look at a lead performance share of 67%, which are coming from Meta and are reported by Meta, and a 30% share tracked and reported by SA360. If we compare the figures for our performance marketing optimizations and evaluation with GH4, our website analyzing tool, then we look at a completely different picture. Because in GH4, we are having contributed and attributed leads of 96% to SA360, which is completely different to what the media platform themselves show us. Another very big challenge is the boundary of our process chain, meaning that we have an isolated single source of truth. So we are reporting, of course, and counting our online leads in our data warehouse. Unfortunately, our data warehouse is not connected with any other system or media system or platform to be able to evaluate and track the user journey and attributed leads running into our system and then reflecting back into the sources we had or where we spent budgets in our media campaigns. Based on these challenges, we were thinking about how we could simplify and automate our performance marketing campaigns and the optimization process. And due to a recommendation of our Swiss colleagues, thank you. Due to a recommendation of our Swiss colleagues, Nexoya was proposed to us. And after a short evaluation, we could start our collaboration in 2024. What we expected right at the beginning in June 2024 was a simplified and automated data collaboration and aggregation due to one user interface where all agencies could work with and work into it. Based on that, we were expecting an optimized AI data-driven performance. What we didn't expect right at the beginning, but what was coming up due to the last couple of months is a digital media mix model. And this is actually the point where I would like to hand over to Marco to introduce Nexoya and give you a better understanding and more details on the base, how we could improve our performance marketing campaigns and our optimization process.
Thanks a lot, Romina, for this short intro into the context. And yeah, so when we got introduced into the Generali Austria case shortly, what is actually Nexoya? Nexoya is a scale-up. We are based, as already Romina said, in Switzerland, based in Zurich, but we have also offices in Berlin, Milan, London, not yet Vienna, but that might come in the future. And we work with many clients in the financial sector, but also in e-commerce sector, and kind of insurance is where we basically grew up, right? And the channel which we saw, or the challenge which we saw when we started with Generali, and especially with Romina's team, we were like, okay, we basically optimize on the existing attribution, right? So we'll go into the attribution, we optimize the attribution, how we do it for many clients. And we realized very quickly that exactly the wallet garden problem, or let's say the attribution dilemma, which Romina mentioned before, is a challenge, because obviously when you tell an AI to optimize attribution and you have so variety of data, you have an attribution problem, right, per se. And this combination with the data warehouse, which was totally separated and wouldn't allow really to attribute across the multi-channel facade, we looked into, okay, how can we enable the AI models to actually pick it up? So, and that's kind of when we went into phase 2 of our joint flight or joint collaboration, and we looked into so the challenges was obviously, as just mentioned, sorry for that, we had the data sparsity in GA4, right? We had the consent mode challenge, and also we had the view-through conversion challenge, as just mentioned by Romina. So the result is we couldn't directly optimize. Right? We were like, okay, we cannot start. And Romina and us had a good discussion after a couple of weeks, like, hey, we can do something, but doesn't really make sense. So we took a step back, or better say a step forward, and said, okay, let's run a media mix modeling. So we already had this in the research and the lab for a couple of months in the past, and we were looking into, okay, how would this enable companies to solve their attribution dilemma? And so we activated this for Generali Austria, and the media mix modeling is kind of a smaller element of the marketing mix modeling. And what we did is we basically implemented all the CRM signals from data warehouse. We were able to get clear factors for attribution, and also then resulting in a very clear factoring for the team. So we basically crushed these walled gardens which we had by using marketing mix modeling, or media mix modeling in this case, and only focusing on the digital piece and really helping the team to understand what is actually the contribution of the impression down to the actual leads we have in the data warehouse. After this then allowed us to apply this media mix model into the AI optimization, and actually really the AI models then use predictive analytics to work and optimize the campaigns, right? As a result of that, or like how does this actually work in the back? So in the backwards, we took in all the channels, all the publishers, from search, social to display, into the platform. And so all the Generali Austria digital channels we had. Then we took in the data warehouse data from Generali into the media mix modeling, used this media mix modeling to calibrate the numbers we had, Okay, so basically have a transparent, holistic view of what's the actual effect and what's the actual driver of the respective lead. Then as a next step, we run predictive models who actually predicted the outcome of each campaign and each ad set across all the channels based on the media mix and based on the signals we have from other publishers into the next week, which allowed us then to give weekly proposals to the team, and not just to Romina, but really to all the agencies, all the channel owners across all those operation systems, to look across, okay, this is how much impressions we have, how much clicks, this is how much the multi-touch attribution publishers attribute, and this is how much the media mix modeling is actually attributing to each campaign, each ad set. Do you like it? The team is then meeting and basically deciding, yes, we like it, can click a button, and we automatically adjust the budget across all the publishers of Generali. So that's kind of opening the car, closing the car again. What you get as a result is really a calibrated leads. So that's how we call them. It's one metric, which is based on the media mix modeling, which the team looks at every week, and sees actually how much calibrated leads we will get. We have aligned collaboration between the teams, obviously, because we look at one number, and it's accepted number in the sense of we know that it came from a proper MMM, which was a regression between impression and the actual leads, which allows us to inherit the results. And obviously, it has significant less efforts on all the quantitative operations, right? Questions like, okay, should we now move the money, although the publisher says no, and this is gone across budgets and also across goals. So that's kind of the result of our collaboration. And obviously, we did that already before in similar cases. And like in Generali Switzerland's case, or also Zürcher Kantonalbank or Vodafone, where we had similar cases where we basically helped them to, take the existing stack, make it AI ready, and then weekly optimize the whole media spending, the whole media mix with the AI Copilot, which tells you where to put the money, how, you accept it, and it directly moves the money to the right location at the right time. So that's basically what we did together in the last 9 months, I would say, right, Romina-ish. And with that, obviously, to every beautiful story, there also comes lessons learned. And as Ralph said, we want to be brutally transparent. We learned a lot of things, right? We learned that DV House can be difficult or not difficult. And so we shortly want to share that with you, or Romina and me together. Romina, please, you obviously made a very nice list from your perspective, so very eager to see that.
Yes. To share our key learnings and successes which we achieved during the last around 9 months, but we need to mention that we are at the very beginning with the new optimization process and with the new optimization base, as Marco mentioned, about the digital media mix modeling, which we run since a couple of weeks now. But what we could see in the last 9 months already, where we could improve mainly and a lot, is about the flexibility and the faster optimization process. The involvement of our agencies, it got more simplified for all parties and partners, and we got a better collaborated understanding on our performance campaigns, and the flexibility on budget invests got more dynamically, which has also a very positive effect on our lead performance already. I can't share figures, I'm sorry for that, but I can tell you that we have a better performance outcome already since a couple of weeks. What also is a very great success for us is that we could change our setup from a manual approach to a data-driven optimization process. And last but not least, what is actually one future and current and future success we are looking into is the data media mix modeling. So by merging the different data sources and also take into consideration our data warehouse online leads, we have a much better integrated view on KPIs, and we can measure and learn from our campaign effects in a more optimized and improved way. what is the next step for us at Generali in the collaboration with the agencies and with Nexoya is the lead performance evaluation on a deeper level so that we can see the real effect on the performance in the next upcoming months.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you very much, Marco and Romina. Romina, just one of the major pitfalls normally in marketing mix modeling is that nobody really understands it at the end. Yeah. So some result is coming out, but in terms of perception, in terms of acceptance within the company, nobody understands it. You're entering multivariate statistic, multivariate regression analysis and such stuff. Nobody understands it. How do you have been able to get the acceptance within your organization?
Yeah. So to be fully transparent and honest, my apologies on that, but the better you skill yourself, the better you can take this topic into your company. So Marco and the team had a really tough time with me, as I'm the responsible person at Generali for this topic. We invested hours over hours into the modeling, into getting that the base explained to me, that I fully understand it. I also challenged a few results and few insights, but we always got on the same page in the end. And that's why I could then take this topic with me into Generali and could share it with my colleagues internally on that base, that it's actually fully accepted, and everybody is excited to see what I mentioned about the next steps. Everybody is already excited about getting more details and digging deeper into the analysis on the lead performance.
But if you want to have been able to build up the model, you might also most probably be able to integrate offline data or media data and stuff like that. Or once the model is stable, it's just purely online, digital currently, but still I might be feeding in GRPs, media plans and stuff like that, or at least start experimenting with it.
Correct. That would be the plan. So I've worked for other companies already where the marketing mix model would also cover other channels, a 360-degree view on all activities we had in place back then. For us at Generali, now it's currently digital focused. So we only have our performance marketing channels running into the digital media mix model. But yes, we plan to work on that further, but now we need to evaluate and fix the base, you know, what we have in place for now, to work with that, to give the model also the time to learn from our current data, and then that might be the plan for next year.
Cool. Carsten.
Thanks. Marco, maybe I missed it, but can you just quickly elaborate on what is the AI part in that topic? So
yes,
let me be frank, it sounds like a good dashboard connected to various channels, but where is the intelligence, and how do you with methodology? Is this LLM? What is the logic behind it when you manipulate the data to get better answers for action?
Yes, I mean, obviously the MM piece is literally a linear regressor, right? And I mean, it's a little bit more complex, but that's not the AI part. The AI part is really the predictive analytics aspect, right? So after we take the MM data in, we calibrate the metrics, and then we run predictive time series models on it. So the simplest one is linear regress. The most complex one is LSTM, neural network. And we run over 18 different prediction models on in each ad set and each campaign to predict the future outcome of each ad set, each campaign with the respective calibrated metric, which we got from the MM, to basically see which campaign has not that much saturation and where can we put the money next week, right? Which trend do we follow based on last year rate, 3 years data? And then based on that, this is then an automatic process which selects the right predictive model, the right time series model, to then be optimized and propose a solution. This is the AI part of it, which is a time series prediction. So predictive analytics. So we're not in the world of generative. We're in the world of predictive time series predictions. And this is the whole co-pilot aspect in here. Obviously, a co-pilot is about automation, so that's why we then also kind of directly apply the budget, right, and directly change it. The attribution piece is something which we needed to fix to make sure the AI model is really properly working, and this is now where we are.
Have you already tested out and figured out how good the predictions are then in terms of real results afterwards? Are you doing a prediction got it.
Yes.
But just to check, basically, if the predictions will be coming in true.
Yeah, I mean, this is very important, right? Because first, we assume predictions are technically wrong because we're in social science, right? Everything can happen, right? So our definition per se is every prediction might be wrong because tomorrow can be foggy or not foggy, or a competitor can move in and do very weird things, or there can be a blackout, or whatever. And that's technically the predictions are social science. So there is a point of unknown in there. What we do is on a daily basis, we do predictions, we give the proposals, you accept the proposal, and then on a daily basis, we monitor what was the prediction and what was the achieved. And if the delta is getting too big, the model automatically detects that and reruns a rebalancing. It tells you, hey, something weird happens, some either competitor moved in and directly moved in your audience or took away your keywords. This is how we would propose to reallocate the budget based on the newest data we have. So that's kind of how we do it. In the UI, you then also see all the time the prediction accuracy. You see how much we predicted and how much you currently have to really also give you an understanding how good the models work on your data.
Cool. Thank you very much. Any further question coming to Nexoya? No, I don't see it. I guess, yeah, it's Uta.
Yes, hello. What a great presentation. Thank you both. Amazing to see so much, as well, insights about how AI is working in this space. I was wondering, how do you go around GDPR compliance, as cookies is such a big question nowadays, and especially when we talk about the companies that have servers in other non-EU markets. I saw that you have TikTok as well from China. So how do you make sure that the data is secure?
There are two aspects. Obviously, Romina, on your side, you probably use consent banners and stuff like that, right? To comply.
So correct. So to be able to use the standard performance marketing channels, such as Meta, SA360, TikTok, as you mentioned right now, or DV360, yes, we do have our cookie consent management in place, and that's how we fix GDPR compliance on our end. And with Nexoya, Marco will tell you a little bit more, but with Nexoya is not implemented directly in our website, so they do not collect the data directly from our platforms or from our website. They get the data delivered via APIs.
Yes. Yes. So we don't have a pixel, right? So that means we directly go to the publishers, so Google, Meta, TikTok, etc. We read the statistical summary of the ad set and campaign, so we don't read any personalized data, and also and then including the data warehouse from Generali, we only read statistical models. We then combine the data and basically make it accessible, right? That is also important, especially for clients in the financial sector, like the Bank of Zurich, Zürcher Kantonalbank, which was mentioned before, right? There are regulations in place which don't allow them to upload the conversion CID into Google, right? And obviously, as we just get the statistics on both levels, we can play an intermediate there and resolve this problem in a very compliant way, because we never see any CIDs, we don't read any personalized data points. We just read the summarized statistics on a campaign and ad set level.
You're just working on aggregated data, basically.
Yeah. And maybe I'm allowed to add that from the operative perspective. I run multiple GDPR compliant approval processes internally with our legal colleagues. And with Nexoya, we had actually the fastest approval ever, because it's absolutely GDPR compliant. So that works out very well, and is not dangerous in any way.
Cool. Great. Uta?
Yes, just one maybe follow-up question. I'm super curious. I'm maybe a future customer. So yes, I'm wondering, so you get different kind of data from these websites. So Facebook collects one kind of data, LinkedIn would collect different kind of data, Google, other kind of data. So what kind of, one set of data do you look for? Is it a visit to the website, or do you have like, different sort of preferable must-haves? And
yeah, so I mean, we can take it obviously also offline, as you're anyhow a future customer, so we can talk about that in the onboarding. But usually during the onboarding process, we look together at your micro conversion stack and then decide together which funnel steps make sense to take into consideration for the model to predict the future outcome, and also to decide exactly what we did with Generali in this case. Do we need the media mix modeling to determine these factors, or can we just go with your existing attribution, which you maybe have internal, or maybe you already have an MMM from another partner, or you run your own MMM or whatever? Then we can import this data, right? So we can bring your own MMM, or you run the media mix modeling within the platform. Both is possible, or you have your own multi-touch attribution which you rely on. That doesn't matter at the end of the day. The kind of the, how we say, the main factors in the prediction and the budget application, right? Does it make sense, Rita?
Yes, thank you so much. I learned a lot, so thank you for your presentation.